Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we celebrate the first week of Pride Month with a fabulous giveaway. We chat about the latest Disney news, and we interview Disney YouTuber and pin collector Becca, aka Disney Kitty, about her experiences as a vlogger and social media maven in the first installment of our Creators and Influencers series. As always, we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick.
Adam Queenie Hummel.
Queenie.
Yeah, it's Pride Month. You don't like it?
I did not make that connection. I mean, I know it's Pride Month, and happy Pride to you, Patrick.
And also with you.
Let's see, Patrick. Rainbow Flagia.
Oh, that's where I'm from.
Rainbow Flagia.
Which is also my middle name. Lucky enough.
Woo.
I know.
Dodged a bullet there.
Sure did.
It is Pride Month. Happy Pride, Patrick.
Happy Pride, Adam. Happy Pride, listeners.
I feel proud. Do you feel proud?
Not of you, but in general. I do.
What have you done today to make you feel proud?
Oh, you did it too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have to do the
I love that song. That's in my workout mix.
Of course it is.
Back when I worked out. It's more my eating mix these days.
Funny.
Well, of course, it is Pride Month, and
is.
we should mention that last weekend was one magical weekend in Orlando.
It sure was.
And Magical Pride in Disneyland Paris, the first official Pride event in a Disney park.
Sponsored by Disney,
Amazing.
Held by Disney.
Yes.
I was looking online at that, and it looks incredible, and I'm so proud of Disney for doing this. Bring it here to the United States, Disney.
I feel like we're so close.
We're on the edge of glory.
Yes.
To quote
Gaga.
Gaga.
Oh, I love that song too. In fact, that was in my workout mix as well.
This is the gayest episode we'll ever do, I think.
Well, appropriately so,
Yeah,
because
it's true.
it is Pride Month. It is our first Pride Month episode.
Yeah, it's true. We're not yet 1 year old.
We're not. We're new.
Mm-hmm.
We're not yet 1 year old, but there is someone who's much, much older.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
I'm looking directly at you.
How very dare you.
I'm not talking about you, though.
We're talking about my bae.
Yes.
One Donald Fauntleroy Duck.
That's right.
Is turning 85 years old on June 9th.
You guys really have a May-December thing going on there.
We sure do. It's very Harold and Maude.
Yeah.
I feel more like Maude, though.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I identify with Maude.
It's true, because Donald has not aged really at all. He's still looking fresh.
He's never put his pants on, which actually may make him 85 years old. That's his telltale sign. So some fun facts about Donald Duck. How about we give a little history the way we did with Goofy a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
So Donald's first appearance was in The Wise Little Hen on June 9th, 1934. So between 1934 and 1954, he appeared in over 150 theatrical films.
Wow.
Crazy town. In 1937, he got his first solo film, Sans Mickey and Goofy. It was called Don Donald. Appropriately so.
It was a mafia film.
Apparently.
It was very dark and gritty.
Yeah, it was it was Goodfellas, basically, with Donald Duck. Starting in the 1950s, he primarily appeared in educational films, like war films and things for schools, until his return to theatrical animation in 1983's Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Lovely.
Yes.
Donald was voiced by Clarence Nash from The Wise Little Hen all the way through Mickey's Christmas Carol. So almost 50 years of voicing Donald Duck.
Amazing.
Crazy. And it's hard to have one without the other.
Sure.
Of course, Clarence did pass away pretty recently after Mickey's Christmas Carol.
That's right.
After Clarence's passing, Tony Anselmo, who is also an animator, took over the voice of Donald Duck.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool that only two people really have voiced Donald Duck through his entire career.
Give me your best Donald Duck right now.
Hey guys, I'm Donald Duck.
That's your best?
Yeah.
I'm glad you tried. You gave it.
Hey, I'm Don. Is that Donald? Hey. Hey.
Seriously, give me your best Donald Duck.
I don't have a Donald Duck.
You can do
me.
it. Just try. You know what he sounds like. Try it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. That was really good.
Oh, my God.
That was really good.
Turns out I can do Donald Duck's crazy scream.
Yeah.
I can't talk like him, though. That's a trick.
It is a trick, and it also makes me cough every time I try to do it. Like, I can't.
Oh, that's real bad.
I know.
That's real bad.
Not as good as yours.
Thank you so much. Donald has appeared in more theatrical films than any other Disney character.
I fully believe that.
Isn't that crazy?
That is not shocking to me at all.
Yeah, good job, Donald.
Mm-hmm.
Other than superheroes, he is the most published comic book character in the world.
Do you know why? I think, anyway.
Tell me.
He's the most layered and interesting Disney character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. Building on that, Donald's famous temper and attitude came from a need to portray any negative attributes throughout these Disney films and not have them fall on Mickey Mouse or Goofy.
Right, yeah. That totally makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Good job, Donald. Donald also co-hosted the 30th Academy Awards in 1958, along with a number of other popular film personalities.
Oh, I never saw that.
You were just born, I think.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, you think I would have seen that, like, on YouTube by now or something?
For sure.
Maybe look it up.
Maybe it's too frightening to look at. Those old costumes were horrendous. Here's something I didn't know. In Mickey's PhilharMagic, the majority of Donald's lines are actually Clarence Nash. They just took some of those old sound bites from old Donald cartoons and used them.
That totally makes sense. That archive, I mean, his body of work.
Yeah, absolutely.
There must be a ton of footage or audio that they can use.
For sure. And so there's only 5 lines that Tony Anselmo had for that attraction, including when Donald hummed the Be Our Guest song.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Super cute, super cute. In 1988, Roy E. Disney created the Department of Disney Character Voices, sort of because of Donald Duck, to ensure the integrity, consistency, and quality in recording methods for all of Disney's legacy characters. So the rule of thumb basically is, if the actor is still alive, they're the only ones who are going to play that character.
That's a sweet gig.
Yeah, for sure.
Based on your audition on this episode, you could be next in line, Patrick.
Watch out, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm going to push you right off a cliff. No, I can't do it, though. The talking is so... Have you ever tried to, like, talk in that voice? Oh, never again.
My microphone foam is just, like, covered in spit now. It's, like, dripping off of...
Gross.
Yeah.
That's
gross.
disgusting.
Yeah.
So, happy birthday, Donald. 85 years.
Happy birthday, Donald.
You're going to get such a kiss?
Such a peck, you might say.
Uh-oh, look what you did.
Yeah, I did that.
Be sure to check out the Disney stores on June 9th, where they're going to give away those commemorative keys in the shape of Donald Duck, and I believe they're going to create a spirit jersey of Donald Duck.
Cute.
I need it. I need it in my life.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to wear only that for the rest of my life.
Moving on, Patrick, I have a clarification from our last episode.
Oh.
Remember when we were talking about Maleficent, the Mistress of Evil trailer?
I sure do.
And I was kind of speculating that Michelle Pfeiffer might be the grown-up version of Aurora.
Yes.
Apparently that's not the case.
Uh-oh.
Because listener Mark, who you can find on Instagram at iMarkaphone.
Oh, one of our Atlantides.
That's right.
We need a name for them, I feel like.
Yeah, Atlantides isn't doing it.
For Mark, Roger, and Kale.
Yeah.
Maybe the 3 Demigos?
The 3 Gablieros.
Uh-oh. We'll think on it.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
Okay.
Does not. Anyway, Mark wrote in because he found on IMDb that Michelle Pfeiffer's character's name is Queen Ingrid.
Oh.
So not Aurora.
Okay, so he cheated and did some research.
Smart.
And we just wildly speculated.
But don't you kind of feel like my idea is better? That it was a flashback and we were seeing older Aurora tell the story of how her and Maleficent kind of parted ways.
I would like to see that. I want to see a duel between Angelina Jolie and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
I just want Michelle Pfeiffer back as Catwoman.
Yeah.
She was the best Catwoman.
Yeah.
But yes, I do like your idea better.
So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. And thank you, Mark, for pointing that out.
Thanks, Mark.
Moving on, Patrick, we received some additional Aladdin feedback.
We sure did. Quite a bit of it, in fact.
On last week's episode, we gave our spoiler-free review of Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
And some listeners wrote in. First up, we have Paul, who you can find on Twitter at PaulPosts, who said, "It was lovely, so charming." He loved Aladdin.
It was lovely.
And listener MadMaddie_2005 on Instagram wrote in to say, "I just saw Aladdin, and it was just amazing."
It just was. And one more feedback we got was from Dane, good old Dane, on Instagram, Daneland. He said, loved both the OG and the remake. Amazing in different ways. I went with my friends and their children and their friends. They all loved it. The boys loved the action and Genie, and the girls loved Jasmine's dresses and character. I asked if any of them saw the original. Most of them didn't. I tried showing a group of 6 to 8-year-olds, and some of them said, it looks so old-fashioned.
Oh, dear.
And it didn't hold their attention very well. Got me thinking about that it's hard for me to watch black and white movies. That's a good analogy. Anyway, those are my thoughts to the question you asked on the podcast.
That's right. And he's referencing the question that I asked, that if children saw the live-action version, would they be interested in going back and watching the original version had they never seen it?
Right. That's kind of a good analogy of thinking of it as watching black and white movies and now, though I do love black and white movies, but it's a vast difference from those older cartoons and animation to what they're doing now.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a whole different world. Oh, it's a whole new world.
Oh, Patrick.
Oh, my.
It breaks my heart a little bit, though, because I loved movies like Cinderella when I was a kid, but I didn't recognize it as old-fashioned. I just recognized it as a really wonderful animated movie.
I think that we're weird in that way.
Do you think so? We're special?
And maybe a lot of our listeners, too, and that's why they come to a podcast like this, because we have an appreciation for that hand-drawn, beautiful, beautiful animation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just want it fast and want it now.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Well, it is Pride Month.
Oh, dear.
Well, thank you, everyone, for sending in those comments on the live-action version of Aladdin.
Yas.
Next up, Patrick, looking into the future of Disney movies.
Ooh.
A Disney Pixar trailer dropped this week, the trailer for Onward.
It looks so good.
Doesn't it, though?
It looks so funny.
Yeah.
It reminds me of some of the humor that Shrek was doing.
That's exactly what I thought, my friend.
Yeah.
Shrek.
It's quick, fast-paced. If you blink, you're going to miss some of the jokes.
Yeah.
I really loved it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be gorgeous to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible talent in the film. We've got Tom Holland playing one of the brothers. We've got Chris Pratt playing the other brother.
Yeah, for sure.
And Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Who's returning to Pixar because, of course, she was in A Bug's Life, and now she's playing, I believe, the mom in this movie.
I think so. And Octavia Spencer?
Yes, that's right. She's in it, too.
What a great cast so far. And just those four alone, huge star power. It looks bonkers.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been in the creative department thinking up all these little jokes that they're doing, like the unicorns as raccoons.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
I laughed so hard at that. And it looks like they just have freedom to do whatever they want because they've literally created an entire world that up is down and down is up and who knows what is real and what is not real. The lawn gnome also made me laugh super hard. It seemed like an easy joke, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, well executed. Well
so
done.
Funny.
Yeah.
A few of our listeners commented on the trailer. Mespanai, who you can find at Diamond in the Rough Clothing Company on Instagram, said, since we've been hit with so many sequels from Disney and Pixar recently, I'm glad to see a new story come out from them.
Good point. Good point. We're going to be in need of some new Disney Pixar non-musical movies.
Derek_Seek agreed, saying, the original stories tend to be my favorite, and with Pixar's history, I have confidence this will be just as amazing as I hope. And last but not least, Trevor Roleg said, urban fantasy is one of my all-time favorite genres, so this movie was made for me. I'm beyond excited for it.
I did not know that urban fantasy is a genre.
Yes, in fact it is.
But now I do. Is there another movie that's an urban fantasy? Or is it more literary?
I mean, this is a deep cut for a lot of people, but I would say Terry Gilliam's Brazil could be considered an early urban fantasy.
That is a deep, deep cut.
Have you seen Brazil?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically like anything that takes place in a city that's also very fantastical or has like kind of supernatural or mythical elements to it.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So thank you, everyone, for writing in with your comments on Onward.
Moving onward, we have some exciting news, don't we,
sure
Adam?
do.
For the first time ever.
For the first time.
Oh my gosh, we started at the same time. Wow, what's wrong with us? But for the first time in forever.
That's right.
We have a sponsor for Gays Do the D.
We sure do. Our Pride Month episodes and giveaways, Patrick. We are doing 4 weeks of giveaways for Pride Month, which we'll get into a little bit later.
What? We're like Oprah.
Yeah. You get a Pride Month giveaway, and you get a Pride Month giveaway. So our Pride Month episodes and giveaways are brought to you by the Traveling Husbands. Jason and Ed are here to help you plan your magical adventures for everything Disney. Whether you are looking for a Walt Disney World celebration, relaxation at an island paradise at Aulani, or travel to lands far, far away for an international Disney destination, the Traveling Husbands can help you plan all the special details to make your vacation dreams a reality. With their own quest underway to visit all of the 6 Disney castles around the world, you can count on Jason and Ed for travel guidance based on first-hand experience. So be sure to reach out to the Traveling Husbands for your next Disney vacation.
And if travel is something you are still dreaming about, you can follow all of the adventures of the Traveling Husbands on YouTube as well. As Walt Disney World locals, Jason and Ed will bring the best of the parks right to you. And let's not forget their most recent trip to Hawaii to visit Aulani. Be sure to check them out on YouTube to keep tabs on whatever their next Disney adventure might be.
The Traveling Husbands can be found on YouTube at youtube.com/thetravelinghusbands, as well as all other social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. For vacation planning advice, be sure to visit them at www.thetravelinghusbands.net and sign up for their email list for everything Disney travel related.
They are super fun to watch on Instagram.
They absolutely are.
I'm very jealous of their travels and their location.
Their proximity.
To Disney
World.
To my dreamland. I went to their website just to tool around a little bit, and they have some really cute pictures there and tons of information on traveling to Disney World. Even if you just want to look up some really easy to find information to start planning, go there. They have a lot of information for you.
They are definitely a phenomenal resource for anyone planning a Disney vacation.
Agreed. And, of course, they have a pride correlation because they are husbands.
Yes.
And they are helping us with our giveaways.
They are sponsoring our Pride Month giveaways.
So thank you, Traveling Husbands.
And speaking of Pride Month giveaways.
Yes, Adam Queenie Hummel.
Let's get this party started, Patrick.
Get this party started.
So our week 1 Pride Month giveaway, we are proud to announce that we have partnered with Dispinland.
Yes.
For Pride Month. And Patrick, have you seen the adorable pins that Dispinland offers?
Seen them. I have one of them.
Oh, do you?
Because you gave one to me.
I sure did. Which one do you have?
The Prince Eric wearing the rainbow Mickey ears.
Adorable.
And the background is like a fin background, like a mermaid fin tail background. It is so cute. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And it's glitter.
It's glittery.
Yeah.
It's everything you want in a gay pin.
Yeah. They also offer snack pins and attraction pins and character pins.
They have a whole host of pins that you can only get from them because they create them themselves.
That's right.
So something else that's fun and new to us, we have partnered with Dispinland on their Pride pins. They have 2 Pride pins, the Prince Eric one that I talked about, and the other one is a real simple Pride Mickey hat with the rainbow ears.
That's right.
It's the red hat.
Yes, and it's also glittery.
And it's also glittery. It's also glittery. So if you go over to the website, dispinland.com, or you can find him on Instagram at Dispinland, Dispinland, you will see these 2 pins featured on the website and on the Instagram. And you'll also note that they have included us in the partnership on the little backer paper that they're going to have for the pins.
That's right.
Our little logo is going to be there. And 20% of all of the proceeds for those 2 pins are going to be donated to GLSEN.
And on top of that, Patrick, Dispinland has created a fabulous button.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the button.
And it's a beautiful kind of rendering of Sleeping Beauty Castle in Pride colors with the Mickey hands that form a rainbow heart.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
It's adorable. It's a must-have.
Yes.
And 20% is getting donated to GLSEN.
That's right.
I think Disney is only doing 10% of their sales, so watch out, Disney. Dispinland's on your back.
You just lost your Donald Duck casting offer.
Oh, no. I mean, good job, Disney. I imagine they're going to raise a smidge more, but you never know. You never know.
For those of you that don't know, every day GLSEN works to ensure that LGBTQ students are able to learn and grow in a school environment free from bullying and harassment. A really phenomenal organization.
They do amazing work for the community. Thank you very much, GLSEN, and hopefully we're going to raise a ton of money for you.
And in promotion of that offer, we are giving away this week, week 1 of Pride. The Prince Eric Pride pin.
What?
And the Mickey Ear Hat Pride pin. You get both pins as part of this giveaway.
2 pins in 1 giveaway? What are we, mad?
So here are the rules, Patrick. You need to visit our Instagram at GDTD Podcast. And under the post featuring the images of the pins, you'll find links to the Traveling Husbands and Dispinland's Instagram, so you need to follow them as well. And then you need to tag 3 of your Disney-loving friends, and you are automatically entered to win.
It's that easy.
And to obtain an extra entry, repost our post to your feed and tag us, or share it as a story and tag us. And the winner will be announced on next week's podcast.
I love extra entries. I can't get enough of them.
You certainly can't.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Okay.
And as a reminder, to purchase your Pride pins, visit Dispinland.com. And to learn more about the amazing work that GLSEN does, visit glisten.org. GDTD.org. And thanks again to the Traveling Husbands for sponsoring this giveaway. And good luck, everyone. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, y'all. So before we get into the news, Adam, we have a fun little announcement for all of our Patreon patrons.
And those that may want to become Patreon patrons.
We're doing our very first recording only for the patrons on Patreon.
That's right. It's a short little episode, a snippet.
Mm-hmm.
GDTD raw.
It's
because I do not
want it to him raw.
I do not want to edit it.
Uh-oh.
So it's just a little bonus for them to listen to.
Yeah, a little GDTD Unplugged, maybe.
Oh, that's a little more.
Remember MTV Unplugged?
Audience friendly. I do.
Aw. Remember when MTV had music?
Yeah. I do.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a special Rumor Has It episode.
That's right.
Just for anyone who is a patron on Patreon. And if you want to become a patron on Patreon, you can go to our website, www.gaysdothed.com, and click on the donate button. That's where you'll find information on Patreon, and it'll lead you right to our Patreon page, where for as little as $1 a month, you can become a member of Gays Do the D on Patreon. That being said, we do have tiers involved too. If you want to get a little something extra, there are tiers, I believe, that start at $25 a month, and you'll get an extra little prize involved. Of course, you can donate any amount you want, but starting at $25 a month, you will get merch, some Gays Do the D merch. So head on over to gaysdothed.com and click on donate.
And now, Patrick.
Yes.
Let's head on into the news.
Let's do it.
A big change has come to Disneyland's replacement Fast Pass experience.
Uh-oh.
Previously, when a ride or attraction went down or became unavailable during the time frame when a guest had a Fast Pass in the app or from a kiosk, the guest would be given a multi-experience Fast Pass, which could be used at any Fast Pass attraction in either Disneyland or Disney California Adventure.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, Patrick, those days are gone.
Uh-oh.
And a tiered system has been put in place called Replacement Fast Pass.
Interesting.
So multiple experience Fast Pass is now gone, and replacement Fast Pass is where it's at. Replacement Fast Pass only allows guests to redeem their Fast Pass at an attraction in the same tier as the attraction they originally obtained the Fast Pass for. Are you following this, Patrick?
So it's like exchanging something for equal or lesser value.
Oh, that's so well said.
Thank you so much.
You kind of shocked me with that.
Oh, how very dare you.
Really well done. So most attractions that offer Fast Pass are Tier 2 attractions. Tier 1 attractions include Indiana Jones Adventure, Matterhorn Bobsleds, and Space Mountain at Disneyland Park, and Radiator Springs Racers and Toy Story Midway Mania at Disney California Adventure.
Interesting.
It surprises me that Incredicoaster is not a Tier 1 Fast Pass.
Oh, good point.
Or Guardians of the Galaxy. Very interesting.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Do they have Fast Passes for those rides?
They sure do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my question. Can you, in fact, exchange for a ride that is of lesser value in a different tiered below?
I believe you can.
You can exchange downward, but not upward.
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess.
I wonder if they're going to implement this at Disney World, too, because right now you do get a multiple experience Fast Pass if your ride goes down or there's an issue.
I imagine it would have to depend on the park, because I think that, let's say Epcot only has, I think, 2 currently.
Oh, sure.
E-ticket attractions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So it would have to depend.
Perhaps in Hollywood Studios, once Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe then they'll implement this system.
Maybe they should just stop having their rides break down. Speaking of rides, Adam.
Oh, yes.
I have a little, it's not quite a rumor, because I think it's probably happening.
Okay.
But it's not officially announced by Disney yet.
Okay.
So according to WDW News today, the much-anticipated Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster will start with a first for Disney parks. Riders will be launched backwards at the beginning of the ride through a tunnel into the main show building where the majority of the ride takes place.
Oh, man.
What?
This is also the coaster that spins.
It is. It is. So a while ago, somebody found a patent that Disney created for a roller coaster with rotating seats.
And I think it was at last year's D23 where they actually showed the images and what it was going to be. So it's going to launch backwards. And then also spin as it travels on the track.
And I don't know that it's going to spin like the teacups spin.
Right.
But the ride will rotate based on what they want you to focus on during the ride.
That's a better way to say it.
Holy buckets. That's crazy town.
I will be focusing on keeping my lunch in my stomach during this ride. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But I'm also very intimidated by it.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to need a crew to clean up all the vomit that's going to happen.
Yeah.
A spew crew.
On Wednesday, May 29th, Disneyland Resort celebrated the dedication of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge with an out-of-this-world ceremony.
That was terrible.
No, it was wonderful.
Okay.
I worked all night on that.
I bet you did. I believe you.
Disney Chairman and CEO Bob Iger was joined by Star Wars creator George Lucas and stars Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Billy D. Williams, each of whom spoke prior to dedicating the largest single themed land expansion ever in Disney Parks history.
Incredible.
The ceremony, which was live-streamed by Inside Disney Parks and AT&T, also featured an overview of Black Spire Outpost from Scott Trowbridge, Portfolio Creative Executive, Walt Disney Imagineering, and details regarding the attractions, food, and merchandise guests can experience in the land. Patrick, did you watch the live stream?
I did not watch it live, but I did watch it afterwards.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh because there's a full 9 minutes of nothing in the video itself.
Yeah.
Not sure why they didn't edit that out, but
that's so weird.
Yeah, they just kept that recording of them just pressing play. And then just 9 minutes of nothing. So you have to fast forward to get to the action.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you watch it live?
I did.
Okay.
I did watch it live.
What'd you think?
It was very exciting. I was actually welling up at times, mostly when I heard that wonderful John Williams score that was composed for the land.
It's chilling.
That they kept playing as people came out. You know, it was really inspiring and very exciting.
Chewbacca made an appearance.
He sure did.
That was cute.
Yeah, it was fun to see all the stars from the films. It was really sweet when Harrison Ford kind of dedicated the firing up of the Millennium Falcon to Peter Mayhew, who originally played Chewbacca and recently passed away.
Yeah, it was really a lovely moment. I have to say, forgive me for being rude, but Billy D. Williams and Mark Hamill looked like they had a bender, an all-night bender, and came on stage still a little bit drunk. God bless them.
Yeah.
But they were looking rough around the edges.
They had actually spent the night before in Oga's Cantina.
Yeah, they had a little too much blue milk with vodka, I think.
A blue Russian.
I've got some exciting news for all you volunteers out there. This year, Disney is partnering with the world's largest organization dedicated to volunteer service, Points of Light, to find the volunteer family of the year.
What a massive search this must be. How?
Well, if you stop talking, I will get to the details,
How
Adam.
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's smart. Continue,
Why don't
please.
you zip the lip. From now until June 20th, 2019, schools and nonprofits registered for the Disney Family Volunteering Reward Program can nominate a family they see fit to hold the title of Volunteer Family of the Year. The selected family will be recognized by Disney and invited to participate in a unique volunteer project at Walt Disney World Resort this November. Super cool.
And what an incredible honor for that family.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Man alive. So a little history behind the Disney Family Volunteering Reward Program. It was launched last year and has already registered over 84,000 families with nearly 500,000 volunteers counted, which has generated over 2.2 million hours of volunteer service. To date, more than 10,000 projects have been completed, and all 50 states have registered families and projects.
This is smart. So it's a big database, right? Of
Absolutely.
Volunteering and opportunities, and very, very smart.
They're tracking all of the people and the hours and the projects that are being completed through this program.
That's great.
It's really cool. So through the program, eligible organizations can create and register projects, track family volunteers, and complete projects to receive complimentary park tickets from Disney. Tickets may be used to reward the volunteers or used to raise more funds for the organization or project. So basically, depending on how many volunteers you have with your project, if you meet Disney's criteria, they're going to reward you by sending you day passes to Walt Disney World.
Amazing. I love this. I love it.
I love it. It's such a good idea. So a quote from Chairman of Disney Parks, Experiences and Products, Bob Chapek: "We believe that when families play, explore, learn, and work together, the scene is set for magical memories that last a lifetime." Very well said. To learn more about the Disney Family Volunteering Reward Program, the 2019 Disney and Points of Light Volunteer Family of the Year, or to get a school or nonprofit registered, visit pointsoflight.org/Disney Rewards. I can't believe I didn't know about this until I started exploring this topic. It's really, really cool and so smart of Disney to do and makes such a good difference in the world. And they don't have to do much other than inspire other people to do some volunteer work and reward them with tickets to Disney.
What if I don't do the volunteer work? Do I still get the tickets?
That is something you're going to have to consult with your conscience on.
Oh.
Which we're all in trouble if you start doing that. Ooh.
According to a May 30th, 2019 Variety article, Disney is in talks with Mark Webb to direct its live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, simply called Snow White.
Interesting.
Webb's previous directorial projects include the Amazing Spider-Man films starring Andrew Garfield and 500 Days of Summer.
I love that movie.
Yeah. It's a little twee for me. It's a little like...
You better stop talking right now. I will slap you 500 times.
I love that I'm like, 500 Days of Summer is a little twee for me. Now let's go to Disney World.
Yeah.
Aaron Cressida Wilson, who wrote The Girl on the Train, is in negotiations to write the script, which, as Variety states, will expand upon the story and music from the 1938 animated classic. Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, the songwriting team behind La La Land, The Greatest Showman, and Dear Evan Hansen, which we just saw last night, Patrick.
Oh, we sure did.
Will write new songs for the movie. So this is really an interesting creative team. We have the director of the Amazing Spider-Man series with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
We have the writer of The Girl on the Train, which was a very, very heavy drama.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the dudes from La La Land and The Greatest Showman writing the music for a live-action version of Snow White.
I'm not going to lie. It actually kind of makes sense because Snow White is all at once very beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action in it. It's also very dark and heavy.
No, I get that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't get... Can you imagine... What? I'm struggling to
You are. I can see it in your face right now.
the songs that are going to be created for this film. Like, take into consideration the songs that are currently exist in the film, right? And they're going to write new songs. The guys from La La Land are going to start inserting new songs into this movie. Is it going to be like... I'm picturing Snow White, like, banging on pots and pans and creating, like, rhythms to, like...
That might actually happen in the when they're making dinner and doing the dishes.
Yeah.
I mean, that there might be a little stomp situation happening.
Oh, poop.
I'm
Did I just give them that
this.
idea?
You might have.
It's a little too...
Fun. Is that what you're going to say? It's a little too fun?
I can't quite grasp it. Like, I'm trying to piece together what this movie's going to be like, and I can't see it happening. I don't know. Happening successfully anyway. But prove me wrong, Disney.
Yeah, your really glass is half broken and dripping blood on this one.
I cut myself.
Yeah.
I full on cut myself.
Oh, no.
It hurts, and I'm trying to comprehend what just happened.
Do you think Zooey Deschanel might be Snow White?
She's too old.
I will slap you again.
I mean, she's what, 30?
You're going for the record of being slapped in this episode because we are not on the same page.
They need a younger actor. I mean, Snow White is supposed to be a teenager, right? Or like early 20s max.
Maybe they'll tap what's her name from Snow White and the Huntsman, Stoneface.
No, don't. No.
Kristen, what's her name?
No.
We don't even have time to look up her name.
Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
My question is, who's going to play Evil Queen Rebecca?
I've sent in my tapes already.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. So any day I'm waiting for a response.
You are definitely not putting all of your eggs in one basket because you're going for Donald Duck and you're going for Evil Queen Rebecca.
If Julie Louis-Dreyfus can voice two different characters in two different Disney movies, I can do the same.
The fact that you just said her name makes me think she could actually be Evil Queen Rebecca.
I think we've
Can she sing?
I
don't know.
Something.
Can she sing?
Who cares?
Oh, I guess the Queen doesn't have a release. They'll write her a song. I'm sure the Queen will have a song.
Well, she'll be part of the Pots and Pans stomp number, I imagine. Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
I have some exciting news for you.
What's that?
Well, she's sitting right in front of you.
Okay, so she's not news, she's a person.
She's not news. She's a noun. She's a person.
Good.
In this place.
Yes.
And we're doing a thing called Gays Do the D.
Correct.
We are interviewing my friend from, 20 years ago, maybe?
At least?
At least 20 years ago.
You both are old.
Yeah, we're very
You're
old
both
now.
Old.
Rude.
Yeah.
How very dare you?
I know. I insulted our guest right out of the gate.
You did. Good start.
Bad.
Good start. Yeah. I'm talking about Becca, otherwise known as Disney Kitty on Instagram and YouTube.
Yay, hello.
Hi, Becca.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm in the Disney basement. I can't stop looking around.
You're in my Disney man cave.
It's disgusting.
What? Rude.
Yeah. Are you terrified right now, Becca?
Slightly, but also intrigued.
We're like, come down to this basement and record a podcast with us.
But I've provided treats, popcorn
Thank you,
and
Patrick.
chips and goofy sour balls.
So
nice of you.
It's in a Mickey-shaped dish also.
Yeah.
It is.
So that counts for something.
You just made Patrick's night for pointing that out.
I mean, it's a hidden Mickey right here on the table.
So how do you two know each other? That's my first question, because how did this happen? How did you meet?
1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
I think 24.
24 years
That's
ago.
my guess.
Same thing in my life. I feel like 24 is about 1,000 years. Becca and I were in a production of Narnia at the Youth Performance Company.
Oh.
Yes, like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
The Lion, the Witch, and the
Yes.
Wardrobe.
Narnia. Mm-hmm.
Who did you play?
No surprise, I played the dwarf. Shocking, I know.
And Becca, who did you play?
I was Mr. Tumnus. The
Oh
fawn.
my gosh. Of course you were.
She was the sweetest Mr. Tumnus in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got to sing and dance around.
You
It was fun.
did.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a good time.
So Becca just got back from the 6-park Coast to Coast Disney Challenge. What on earth were you thinking?
I don't know. I'm not sure that it's something I would recommend to,
Oh no.
to normal people. I'm a kind of a big go big or go home kind of person, especially when it comes to Disney things. And I'm an annual pass holder in Disney World. I get down to the parks probably 5 or 6 times a year. And I've done, 4 parks in one day and eat all the things and meet all the characters. And I had heard a few years ago that it was possible to begin your day in Orlando and visit all 4 Walt Disney World main gate parks, and then get on a plane and fly to LA and go to Disneyland and finish your day at Disney California Adventure and then Disneyland Park. And I think I heard about it like 3 years ago. And when I heard it was possible, I was like, I am doing that someday. I'm doing that. So it's kind of been on my Disney bucket list. We all have a Disney bucket list.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. And I have a good friend who every May, her birthday's May 3rd, but we go that week every year to one of the 2 coasts. So we're usually in the parks for May the 4th, which is fun. And this was our 5th year in a row going for her birthday.
Oh wow.
In May, and I said, well, do you want to go to land or world? And she says, let's do both. And I was like,
Oh,
yes.
my goodness.
And I had finally found someone crazy enough to do this challenge with me. And she was 100% on board. And we started planning, and we had some close calls. It almost did not happen several times that day, and also the day before when we realized our flight time had changed.
Oh my gosh.
We were not going to get to California in time, but we did it. And I will never do it again.
Oh no.
It was great fun, and that's that.
I'm exhausted just thinking about it right
It was
now.
pretty nuts.
For sure.
I mean, Patrick and I both suffer from anxiety. So
Yeah.
were you just like anxious the entire, were you able to enjoy any part of the experience, or were you just constantly thinking about the next step and what you needed to get to?
Yes.
All of it.
Yeah. I mean, because we had to change our flight to California, we had to be out of the 4 parks in Walt Disney World by 11 a.m. and on our way to the airport.
Wow.
So we had to do 4 parks before 11. And that was like the biggest scary time crunch
Yeah.
for us. And luckily we were on property. We were at the Dolphin, so we had extra magic hours. And we had also booked the Toy Story Land early morning magic.
Smart.
Oh,
Smart.
good idea.
We didn't know we were going to need that. We thought we were going to actually be able to enjoy like that little time in Toy Story Land, but we literally got in at 7. We threw down some breakfast. We rode Slinky Dog and got the heck out of the park because we had to
gosh.
keep going. But that is like really what saved us and made it possible. And then when we got to the airport, like we were hauling ass. Can I say that?
Of course you can.
We were hauling ass to the parks, and then we made it out. And as we were walking through the boardwalk area back to our hotel, the sky opened up and like these crazy Florida thunderstorms, lightning storms started happening. We were like, yes, we just made it, like just in time. So we get in our Uber, we go to the airport, we board our plane. And then because of the lightning storm, we sat on the tarmac for about 2.5 hours.
Oh no.
Were you freaking out?
I was freaking out.
Oh no.
And I was by myself. Like we had booked the flight like the day before in a panic. So I was by myself and my friend was like way back behind me. And I was between like two big dudes in a middle seat for 2.5 hours, just like having a total panic attack.
Oh man.
But we did get out in time to get there and we did do it. But oh boy, it was rough. And then the flight is not short. It's 5.5 hours.
Right. It's a long flight. Yeah. That's a 3-movie flight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're measuring it that way.
I mean, we could have flown to Paris in that time. I mean, it was a really crazy day. So we had like all this activity and then a very long sit.
Yeah.
And then we had to get from LAX to the resort, Disneyland Resort in LA traffic. We thankfully had a friend come and get us.
Oh, that's nice.
He was great and on time. And then when we got to California Adventure, we were like, oh, we're home free. It's so great. So we take our photo in the park. We get a snack and we're meandering around. And we decided for our ride at California Adventure that we would do Radiator Springs Racers.
Sure.
Which has a single rider line, which historically works very well.
Yeah.
It's fine. So we get in a single rider line and there's probably, 45 minutes till park closed. We think, we're fine. We're waiting. We get up there to the front of the line and literally we were the next people to go on and the ride broke down. Like,
oh my gosh.
Completely broke down.
Of course.
And we had to get out of line and go back to the queue with like 10 minutes before the park closed. So we went and got in line for the, like the Luigi dancing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So cute.
Yeah.
But I mean, we waited 45 minutes for that.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
And then we had to rush over we were awake for like 22 hours. It was an insane day. And we did it and we have bragging rights, but that's not the way to do a Disney vacation for like any normal person.
No.
You know?
That's something you do if you've already been to the parks before. You're not worried about missing things. It's more of like this is a bucket list, check it off the list kind of a thing to do.
Or if you're me, you just never do it. I think is.
You're not going to do this with me ever?
Are you paying?
I am not.
Okay, then we might need to have a conversation about that.
I think we just did.
I mean, it was, yeah, you're right. It wasn't cheap, but I will say that I love the Walt Disney World Resort and I love the Disneyland Resort. And it was so much fun to be able to experience them back to back like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because I've experienced them like very far away from each other in terms of like timeline, but never bumped up against each other. And it was actually really cool. And especially to ride Space Mountain in each park within 24 hours.
Oh, that's neat.
It was really cool to be able to compare all the different attractions and I mean, it was a great time. That was the only time, but it was a great time.
And this will be released on your YouTube channel, correct? Have the videos already been edited and released, or is that coming?
I'm just now working through the footage.
Okay,
so
great.
I've got vlogs for every day of the trip, and that was the fourth day of the trip. So
okay.
It'll be probably like 2 weeks.
Okay,
that vlog will be up, and people can watch us go crazy.
So shortly before this episode drops, or shortly thereafter, your vlogs will be up.
Yeah, so you can find a link to my channel in the show notes, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Of course you can. Of course you can. Was there sort of a favorite moment of this trip, or was it just panic the entire time?
Of the day? Of the actual day that we did it?
Yeah.
We were actually getting cocky by how quickly we were making it through the Walt Disney World parks.
Yeah.
Like, we were just getting very puffed up about our efficiency and, like, how well we knew what we were doing.
For sure.
The Ubers were timed just right, and we knew, like, where we were going, and, we were like ninjas in those parks, and we were very proud. And as we were making our way out of Epcot, which was the last park of the 4 that we visited in Orlando, we had to get our park photo, and we told the PhotoPass photographer, the cast member, what we were doing, and he got like emotional and weepy. He's like,
"Oh wow,
it's 11 a.m. and you've already been to 4 parks." He's like, "You've really just made a memory for me." It was so sweet, and so it was like the sweetness of that comment, like coupled with like actually doing what we were not sure was possible.
For sure.
That was my high point of the day.
I love that. We talk a lot about that on the show, about how it's the cast members at Disney that really make that magic happen for you. So I love that your memory is of a cast member.
Yeah, and he was really touched and also shocked.
Yeah, I'm
also
sure.
Shocked, yes.
I'm sure they don't see that a lot. I mean, I can't imagine that the club is very large who have done this trip.
No, because it's absurd.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is absurd, but I love it.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Would not do again. Maybe would not recommend. Unless you've really, like, if you think you've exhausted your bucket list, like, maybe.
That's funny.
Maybe.
Speaking of, do you have any tips for someone who is like, you know what, I'm just going to try it? Is there anything that you would say, be sure to do this? This saved our lives.
I'm not always a proponent of staying on site in Orlando, but having those extra magic hours is really what saved us.
Yeah.
And when you plan any Disney trip, it's always helpful just to do your homework, like check park opening times, check what's down, give yourself a bigger buffer than you need to get from park to park.
Makes sense.
Decide if taking the buses is a good strategy or maybe taking an Uber is a good strategy.
Because you never know with those buses,
because
man.
we Ubered pretty much everywhere that day.
You did,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we had relied on Disney transportation, there's no way.
Yeah, that's just a crapshoot for sure. Yeah.
You know, and then there were only a handful of flights out of Orlando that would have gotten us to LA in time. We had someone there to pick us up at the airport.
Yeah.
You know, however much planning you do for a normal Disney trip, like you want to triple it in terms of just being meticulous and double checking and triple checking because like any one little thing could have wrecked it and almost did. Frankly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your YouTube channel.
Okay.
I want to know, first of all, Disney Kitty. Where is Disney Kitty from?
So my husband actually gave me the nickname Kitty. You know, like he's like, that's my pet name. I mean, that's TMI. But the kind of funny thing about that is way back when we started dating, which was 10 years ago or something now, he sort of had nicknamed me Kitty. I can't remember why. It was probably because I had a cat and he had never had a cat. And I don't know. He thought kitties were cute. And I don't know. For some reason, Kitty, he called me Kitty.
Adorable.
And I was calling him, you know, like Muffin and like Pumpkin.
Oh, very masculine
all
names.
These names that just bugged the crap out of him. And finally one day he like got the courage up to tell me that he was not thrilled about any of the like edible pet names that I had given him. And I said, okay, honey, I'm going to let you choose your nickname. What do you want? What do you want to be called? He goes, Tigger?
What?
Oh.
He wanted to be called Tigger.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, because he doesn't really like Disney, and he doesn't really even know who Tigger is.
That's hilarious.
But he chose Tigger, so we've been Tigger and Kitty. You know, those have been our pet names for each other.
So
ever
funny.
Since. Yeah, so then when I was putting together a YouTube channel, like kind of all my online handles have been like something Kitty.
Yeah.
Kitty sings, Kitty this, Kitty that. So I was like Disney Kitty. You know, so that's the reason. I mean, I like kitties. I don't think of myself as a kitty necessarily. And I like other animals too, not just cats, but that's my actual nickname. Kitty with 2 E's.
I love it.
Kitty.
So your husband is not a Disney fanatic like you are?
Not at all. No. It's growing on him. Slowly. He tolerates it.
Yeah.
He has some things that he's grown to appreciate. Magic Kingdom is not one of them.
Sure.
He hates Magic Kingdom.
Oh, no.
He hates it. But he loves the Animal Kingdom park. That's his favorite park.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, he's kind of like a stop and smell the roses kind of guy. And he can appreciate beautiful theming and craftsmanship. And he loves the sort of like the coming together of nature and like art and creativity. And so I think that park really speaks to him, but he has a really hard time with, you know, he didn't grow up on Disney and he can't really find a foothold in Magic Kingdom because it all seems like dated kiddie rides.
Sure.
And to me, I'm like, this is my heart. This is who I am.
Yeah.
He just can't. And it's just, to him, it's just crowds and like, you know, cheesy old rides.
For sure.
He can't get down with Magic Kingdom, so we're working on that.
Some of my favorite videos are when you make him guess which Disney character, like a pin is or something. It is so funny to me. I laugh out loud, literally. It's amazing.
He doesn't know.
You can tell that he's just like, I honestly don't know who this is. And it's like, it's Winnie the Pooh, sir. Yeah, it's so funny.
He truly does not know most of the characters. We actually filmed another couple of those today.
You did?
We filmed today. Aww. And I have to edit out the parts of the video where I just am irritated and like dumbfounded that he hasn't made more of an effort to learn the character. But he does try really hard, and he is a really good sport that he will like go on my channel and humiliate himself in front of strangers. He's a pretty good sport about it.
Yeah.
But I still find myself, I mean, he's been to the parks with me, you know, a good half a dozen times now. Mm-hmm. I make him sit through the movies and he retains nothing. Nothing. It's crazy.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's adorable.
So he didn't grow up with Disney, but you grew up with Disney. Disney has always been a part of your life. Did you travel as a kid?
Yeah, what's sort of we like to get a little bit of a Diz-tory lesson on our guests. Like, what's your background in Disney?
Diz-tory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, my whole family is musical. And so the sort of the musical aspect of Disney movies and the parks, that's always been kind of the big hook for me emotionally. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I went to Disney World a few times with my family. My first time was when I was 5. I don't remember that much, but the things I do remember are like very vivid. And it definitely ingrained in my mind that, you know, this is a very special place. And so I've always kind of had that, Disney World like feeling ever since I went when I was 5. And we took a few trips in my childhood, and I went a couple times in college. And then, probably for like 10 years, it was just off my radar. You know, I became a yoga teacher, and yogis don't like corn dogs and fire. You know, I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah. And I still love the movies, and I still love the music, and that's just kind of like a part of my being at this point. And then probably like 6 years ago, my husband's a musician, and he's in an orchestra, and they took a tour to Cuba. And I could not go because it was prohibitively expensive for spouses to go to Cuba. Mm-hmm. And I was very upset. I was like heartbroken. I really wanted to go on this tour. And he said, well, like, is there somewhere else that you want to go? Like, can you go somewhere with Pam? Pam is the friend that I did the 6 Parks challenge with.
Hi, Pam.
Yes. Hi, Pam, if you're listening. And I said, yeah, I'll figure out someplace. So I reached out to Pam. I was like, hey, Pam, you want to like take a little trip while Aaron's in Cuba so I don't get too much trip envy? She says, I don't know, you want to go to Disney World? And I was like, no.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't.
Why would I ever want to do that?
But that's what we ended up doing. We went to Disney World for a few days, and we went to Universal and saw, you know, the Harry Potter stuff had all just opened. And so we just did like this crazy theme park trip, and we both got obsessed with those parks. The Disney parks specifically, all the Harry Potter stuff is really also quite cool.
For sure.
And shortly after that, like that's when it all went out of control. I got annual pass, and I started like bugging my family to go, and I started bugging my husband to go, and it's just been kind of a crazy obsession ever since. But those parks are amazing. Mm-hmm. As much as I love the movies, I think like as an adult, what I really find fascinating are the parks, and they're just such a incredible, sophisticated operations, and it's like this incredibly wonderful experience for families that's wholesome, that doesn't, you know, it's like a rave that's wholesome. You know?
That's like such a great explanation.
It's this huge party, but like no one's doing drugs in the corner. Right. Putting up in the corner.
They might be. Well, you don't know.
Well, now that I've gotten into this a few years, they might be.
You haven't gone with Adam yet, and so
if I'm not at a bender in Disney World, I'm completely strung out. It's not a successful Disney trip.
I don't know who you are if you're not stoned at Disney.
I can somewhat relate to that. So I just got super into it, and then I started my channel, which I didn't know it was going to be a Disney channel, but I just started making videos about stuff I thought was cool, and the Disney stuff is kind of what took off, and then that took off, and then I got more obsessed, and it just kind of like perpetuated itself. I sold Disney travel for a while. I don't do that anymore. It was, as my channel grew, it got to be quite overwhelming. So now I just talk about Disney for free to people. But I feel like from selling travel and getting obsessed, like as quickly as I did, like I know a lot now. And so I enjoy having like a little like Disney, you know, Disney parks expert status. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun for me. It's a nice little side It's not even a hustle. It's just a side hobby. It's a hobby, but it makes me happy.
Well, it's quite a popular hobby. I just looked today, and you were up to 24,000 subscribers on YouTube.
24,700.
Not to be too specific.
I'm very close to 25, so I'm
That's so amazing.
And honestly, Becca, same. We're the same. We have 25,000.
We have 25 people.
Oh, that's what we have. That's what we have in our lives.
Some of them listen to the podcast.
Becca makes 26 in mind. So climbing.
We're doing it.
I'm also coming up on my 2-year YouTube anniversary.
Incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It's May 27th. It's the same day that Pandora opened.
What?
So that's coming up. So after 2 years, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm kind of, in terms of my channel, like in a little bit of a, like what's next, or streamline the direction of things a little bit. So that's in my brain right now. And I'm going to keep doing it, obviously, because it's a great time. But it's been 2 years of me like unboxing stuff and vlogging, and I'm kind of looking to see like what might be the next thing to add or subtract. So, yeah.
So since you started your YouTube account, what has been the biggest surprise for you out of it? Like you've been going for 2 years, you said, and I have to say 2 years and almost 25,000 followers seems like an incredible
That's pretty major.
achievement.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest surprise out of all of that for you? Good or bad, honestly?
It's been a little bit mixed. You know, I am surprised that it has had the success that it's had. You know, 25,000 subscribers on YouTube is a relatively small YouTube channel. However, it's very hard to grow on that platform. And I feel very fortunate that people have found what I'm doing and they've resonated with it. So that's been really cool. I'm surprised that so many people are accepting of my like weirdness, you know, and like want to join in. Like that's been really fun. So the growth has definitely been surprising. People send me things. I get a lot of mail. I had to open a P.O. box, and that's been surprising. People recognize me in the parks. That's been surprising. And then there's also just other surprising things that go along with it, like trolley comments or,
oh yeah, I bet,
you know, weird vibes from other Disney YouTube channels sometimes. Sure. Or honestly, people are always like, oh, YouTube's so much work. Well, guess what? They were right. They're not, they're telling the truth. YouTube's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And, you know, you guys are creators of this podcast, and, you know, there's so much more that goes into it than what people that are consuming this content can see in terms of editing and planning and behind the scenes things. And it's the same thing on YouTube. It's been a great hobby, but it's been like it's taken up all of my time and resources, basically. So that's another reason why I'm like, okay, I'm 2 years in. I need to figure out how to make this sustainable and sane.
Yeah.
If I'm going to keep going. So that's been not surprising, but that's definitely kind of hit me recently.
For sure. I'm sure doing yoga doesn't hurt that. You get a little bit centered.
Well, that's the funny thing about yoga is teaching yoga is also like having a YouTube channel or creating a podcast.
Yeah.
Your students get centered, but you as the teacher.
Oh, that's fair.
You have a lot of behind the scenes crap to deal with.
That's true.
So is yoga then your other hustle?
That's my day job. Yep.
You teach yoga? I
teach yoga. I've taught yoga for about 14 years. So
that's fantastic.
That's my main thing. Yeah. It's kind of the opposite of Disney. I actually don't tell, I don't tell any of my students what I'm up to on the internet. Some people have found it now.
Interesting.
But I'm pretty quiet about it
for
the most part, because a lot of people they don't need to know that I'm eating corn dogs and doing 6 parks in one day when I'm not, you know, teaching them to ohm and stand on their head.
Yeah, fair enough.
For some people, those two things are not congruent, you know.
Well, we have a huge yoga following here at Gay Student.
Yeah, obviously.
So your secret's out, Becca.
Yeah. Everyone's going to know now.
Uh-oh. I'm going to get fired.
So you were talking a little bit about sort of maybe the trolls that can happen on social media and just the bad vibes that you might experience. How do you navigate that? What's been your experience in just avoiding it? Because here's something that I want to give you some praise for, is that you seem, and I guess are, very authentic on your YouTube channel and on Instagram as well. You're unapologetic about your love and passion for Disney, and you don't seem manufactured, whereas I've seen some channels that it's like, okay, I know what to expect every time, but I know that I'm going to get an honest reaction from you when I watch your channel. So how are you navigating any of those pitfalls?
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of just showing up and trying to be authentic, I think I'm just a quirky human, and I can't not be that. I would definitely describe myself as someone who's just generally a bit awkward. And what I've learned in my time on YouTube is that people relate to and find comfort in another awkward person that loves something nerdy that they love. And the more positive kind of feedback and response I've gotten from that, the more I've been able to sort of ease into being myself on my channel. And that's been very affirming and positive. And that's been probably the best part of the YouTube journey, is just honestly like the acceptance that goes along with being unapologetically yourself and having most people be like, right on.
Yeah.
You know, but there are some trolls and there are some haters and there are, you know, I think that I've experienced some aspects, maybe all sides of jealousy in this space, and that can be tricky. And there are days when I just don't go online for a while.
Yeah.
Or I have one video that has over 100,000 views, and the more popular your video gets and the more reach it gets, the more like weirdos see it.
Oh, I'm sure.
So that one video is like, it's like a magnet for creepy, nasty comments. You know, like people will comment in the section like, you effing bleep.
Oh my gosh.
All women on YouTube are just living off their husband's money. I mean, like crazy stuff like that.
Wow.
So my spouse, my Tigger, actually, he kind of like weeds through the comments and deletes. He shields me from some of that stuff because I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
And some stuff I can just like let it roll off my back and it's no big deal. But, you know, my response generally is I'm on the internet putting something positive out there. And if you spend your time putting negative things out into people's comments section, like we're not in the same conversation. And I don't have time or interest in entertaining that, you know, and it's like the whole Brené Brown thing. Like if you're not in the arena, I'm not really interested in your feedback anyway. I really do feel that way.
Yeah.
But I'm still sensitive. And every once in a while, there'll be something that makes me be like, maybe I'll delete this all.
Oh no.
Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, what is my life and why am I on the internet? You know, and I'm not really even a millennial. I'm in my mid-ish 30s. And most of the people in the space are younger than me. And most of my peers, you know, people that I grew up with, like they're not on the internet. All kids are on the internet now, but I'm not one of them. Like I'm an actual old person on the internet. So I'm not, I think, as comfortable. I didn't grow up where everyone was online, you know? So I get anxious about like, I'm on the internet. It's so risky. And then I have to remind myself, no, Becca, like everyone's actually on the internet now. You're not special. If someone wants to bug you, they're going to have to like be looking specifically to bug you because there's literally a billion people on the internet now. I will say there is one comment that I received once upon a time that I like early in my YouTube days that I haven't been able to let go of.
Oh no.
Many moons ago, I was unboxing some Disney pins, and it was like a Disney horses mystery pin set, like various Disney horses, because people love their Disney animals, including me.
Yep.
So I opened one, and it was a Disney unicorn. And I think I had just watched Inside Out. You know, there's a unicorn in Inside Out. The rainbow unicorn.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And I was like, oh, it's the unicorn from Inside Out. No, it wasn't. It was Buttercup, the unicorn from Toy Story.
Oh.
And
oh my gosh,
it was an honest mistake. Like I've seen both movies. I know which dang Disney unicorn is which. But oh man, that comment section, like to this day, is just full of like, you named the wrong unicorn. That unicorn is from Toy Story, not Inside Out, you idiot. And then one person wrote #fake fan. And that is the comment that is just, that is the one that really has gotten under my skin, because truly, like, if I am not a fake fan,
right.
Like, I am like a thirsty Disney nerd.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, there's like no fake fandom happening here. And that is like the one that I just, for like almost 2 years, I have not been able to let go of #fake fan.
Isn't that interesting how it's so much easier to hold on to those negative comments than the positive ones? So I'm sure you get 8 million positive for every one negative. Do you know what I mean? But you remember those negative ones, and it's such a trap. You know what I mean?
And you also just wonder why, you know, like I feel sad for myself that I have to deal with my one negative comment. but I really do go down the rabbit hole of like thinking about like who would write that and why and
who's got that time.
Yeah, or like what's going on with them, and maybe they need some Disney, you know, or maybe they need some yoga. Like what, you know, I almost have like a little bit of, you know, like the bleeding heart compassionate yoga teacher in me is like, oh, this poor person, like they have to come on the internet and say bad things to feel better about themselves. And I kind of go there too. Like I can spin around on those comments for a while, like in a number of different ways.
It's very easy to ruminate on that.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you do a great job of handling it, from what I can see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trying not to suck, you know?
Well, you know, we all have our days.
Yeah. So speaking of pins, Becca.
Oh, no.
Yes. You are a pin fanatic now? Would you say you're a pin fanatic now?
A pinaholic, maybe.
I have pin problems. I have pin problems for sure. I have a lot of pins. I don't really know how that happened. I've always really liked Disney pins. I like cool little shiny things. Mm-hmm. You know, even when I was a kid, even when I wasn't even that into Disney.
Yeah.
But I knew that Disney pins were a thing. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, you're talking to two gay dudes. We're into shiny things too. Yeah, sparkly like, glitter, anything. Yeah.
And there are so many of them out there. And when I started my channel, I had a small collection, and some I had purchased in the parks, and some had been gifted to me, and some I had bought on eBay, because that's where you can get all the nice ones, and also the fake ones. And I don't know, like that just became its own monster. And I have almost 2,000.
Oh, wow.
I have almost 2,000 Disney pins.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow.
How are they stored? Where do you store them? Well,
that's a good question. Because my collection has grown faster than my ability to like organize them.
Sure.
And some of them are organized. I have lots of cork boards with like different collections. Then I have like, if you look at my channel in the background, I have like this huge chest of drawers behind me in my setup. And it's pretty much full of pins. And then I have other places where I stash them as well. I really have pin problems for real. So one of my goals for this summer is to sort of curate my collection a little bit, but it's just so hard to part with them because they're all so cool. And a lot of people narrow it down and say, oh, I'm going to collect, you know, Maleficent, and I'm going to collect The Fox and the Hound, and I'm going to collect Carousel of Progress, or, you know, or whatever. And so I kind of started out, well, I'm going to collect, you know, Snow White and Zootopia and, you know, whatever. And now it's like I can literally justify collecting pretty much anything. You know, I'm like, oh, I have two Figaros. Well, I'm now a Figaro collector, you know.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like seriously.
Yeah.
And it's just completely out of control. It's hard to let them go.
I told myself I was only going to start collecting things that brought me joy, but it turns out every single thing in the parks brings me joy. So I'm collecting all of it. I'm just collecting all of Disney.
Yes, I mean that's the trap. I mean, I can 100% relate. I know that that's a joke, but it's also not
for
a joke.
real. Yeah, in reality.
As a non-collector, I have questions. Are you supposed to keep it in the packaging or like on the card? Is that going to like increase its value, or is it just more sentimental for you to do that, or do you pop them off that and throw away the card?
That's a great question, actually. You keep the limited edition packaging.
Okay.
I mean, I try to, and most collectors they try to keep that pretty pristine because it will retain its value. And a lot of the pins, the limited ones, will go up in value, especially if it's a popular, you know, if it's people love Disney cats, people love Disney princesses. So those ones tend to become more valuable as they become harder to find. But for the ones that you can just buy on the racks in the Disney parks, you can throw those away because the open edition pins they're just everywhere. So you don't need to worry about those ones.
And do you actively participate in pin trading while you're at the parks?
No. I mean, I take a little binder of like small traders that I really don't care about with me. And occasionally I'll see something on a cast member lanyard or pin board that will catch my eye. But most of the pins, unfortunately, on those boards and lanyards are fake. I would say 95%.
Oh, interesting.
At least 95% of them are fake. So in terms of pin trading, most pin trading for like nice pins and good pins happens online on Facebook or on Instagram. And then Disney will also host pin trading nights and events. So a couple times, like maybe once per quarter in California and in Florida, they have a pin trading night, and people roll their suitcases full of trading pins like into the park. It's pretty intense.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then every August in Epcot, there is a big pin trading event. an annual pin trading event, and people come obviously from Florida, but from all over the place with their suitcases full of pins for trading. And then they also release new pins at that event. So it's a big merchandise event as well. So I'll be going to that in August.
And you host a pin trading on your Facebook page too, don't you?
Yeah, I have 2 Facebook groups.
Okay.
So the first Facebook group just formed because people were so chatty in the comment sections of my videos, and I couldn't always reply. And then I would see them replying to each other, and I was like, well, you know, Disney friends are the best friends. So I made a Facebook group just to chat. And then as soon as that started, people wanted to trade pins. And I made a separate group for that because that had kind of taken on a life of its own. So now my pin trading group is actually a little bit larger than my chatting group.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I have, you know, a whole team of moderators on both, but the pin trading group, because people are sending things through the mail and occasionally things get messed up, needs a bit more moderation. I have a very helpful team of helpers in my pin group. Yes.
Is there, for a pin purchasing novice, a good way to know if a pin is a fake or not? Is there any like telltale sign that you're like, oh, nope, that's not real?
You have opened Pandora's box.
Oh, no.
Pandora's box.
Uh-oh.
Frankly, if you see a pin and it's on a cast member lanyard in the park, it's 99% of the time fake.
Oh, no.
Yeah. If you look on eBay, you can look for like Disney trading pins, and you will find, unfortunately, many, many, many listings for like bulk lots of Disney trading pins, and they are all fake. They're all fake. If you can get a pin on eBay for less than $2, I will promise you that it is fake.
Yeah.
Like 100% of the time. And they come in like these big bulk bags, and they come in like these little tiny, like dime bags. And it looks like, you know, like a bag that you would have weed in.
For sure.
You know, but there's pins in there. Those are fake. Okay. You know, there's also real pins. The fakes are all replicas of authentic pins.
Right.
So there can be a lot of different things, like dips in the paint can indicate fakeness. There's a Mickey like waffle print on the back, and like that being kind of off can be fake, but there's no one way to tell.
Wow.
So, like, there are actually videos on YouTube that are just dedicated to like, here's like a 10-step process to figure out if your pin is authentic. And as you see more and more pins, like it becomes more and more obvious. Like I can just look at most pins now and be like, that's fake for sure.
Yeah.
But there's still some tricky ones. And it's not only like hidden Mickeys and inexpensive pins that get fake, but there's also fakes and also like scrappers or kind of like cast-offs that didn't like meet the quality control that also come into circulation of like higher end and limited edition pins. So it's quite tricky, and it's actually quite problematic. And a lot of people are really sad that the fake pins have ruined pin trading in the parks. Now, if you don't care if your pin is real, some of them are cute. Like maybe it's a piece of metal either way.
Yeah.
You know, I just say like if you're not that fussed about it, like keep the pins that you like. Mm-hmm. And great. You have a collection of, they're still Disney pins. They're just not put out by Disney.
Right. They won't be worth anything necessarily.
And some people get those and they make crafts with them, or they cut the backs off and they turn them into magnets. You can, people do artsy things with the scrappers. So it's not the end of the world. Some people are very bent out of shape about the fake pin and scrapper problem, but they're not that expensive anyway.
Yeah.
And frankly, people that seriously collect pins aren't typically collecting little hidden Mickeys. They're looking at more like the fancy like event pins and, like the limited edition of 300 pins. And that's kind of where most like serious pin collectors hang out. And it's mostly, like it's fun for kids to trade little pieces of metal in the park. It's totally fine.
Yep, for sure.
So I don't get my undies in a bunch too much about it. But I also, know that I'm not going to get tricked because I know what I'm looking for too.
So let's move on to another topic that you cover on your YouTube channel, subscription boxes.
Oh boy.
You love a subscription box. I do too, to be clear about it. But man alive, you have the best subscriptions coming to your house, and I'm jealous.
Well, thank you. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I have a lot of stuff now from all of the unboxings. I think, mystery boxes are fun. And back before I had my Disney channel, there was like Birchbox and now like FabFitFun is a big one.
Yeah.
Like, I used to get a few of those non-Disney ones back in the day. And then you get oversaturated with like face creams,
right,
hair goos, and you're kind of like, all right, that's enough. But that's actually my very first YouTube video was a Disney subscription unboxing. I had seen a few online that I had watched. I thought, oh, that's fun. And I had subscribed just because I wanted to try it. And I wanted to start a YouTube channel for so long. And I thought, well, that's an easy first video to make. I don't have to come up with anything fancy. I just pull things out of a box and be like, look at this thing. And that just really took off. And those are my most watched videos for the most part. Those get a lot of traffic. I don't know what it is that people find so exciting about them. I mean, I like watching those things too, but I don't know if it's like a gamble and it's a surprise and you don't know what you're going to get. And I think people like to watch me open it so then it feels like they're getting the surprise, but they didn't have to pay for it.
That's exactly right. You just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And now, I work with a lot of companies most of the companies that I unbox their boxes, they'll send me their products for review now, but that's after like subscribing for a year or, and forming a relationship with the people that own the company. But now, like, thank heavens, I'm not paying out hundreds of dollars for subscription boxes.
Right.
Because I would be divorced, okay? I would be divorced and homeless. But it did take a while. So I don't want to say like, oh, they just send me it and I just unbox it. Like everything I put on my channel is something that I've paid for and would pay for. But at this point, I am in Disney stuff saturation. So I probably wouldn't pay for it if I didn't have a channel to review it on at this point because I just have so much stuff.
I think there's also something really therapeutic about watching it. Like if it's done well, it's really kind of comforting in some way to hear like the crinkling of things and it's like ASMR.
Right.
Yes.
Like it's that kind of very appealing thing to watch and get pleasure from. But then again, you didn't pay for it. You kind of get that little high from like having that experience.
Yep. You a little dopamine hit.
It's kind of like watching those really good like baking YouTube channels or something.
Yes.
There's just something very soothing about just sort of the process of what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. I often upload them on Saturday morning. It's like Saturday morning cartoons.
Yep.
I love that.
People are like hanging out and they're like, oh, I think I'm going to watch a couple unboxings.
Yeah.
So I imagine them at home in their pajamas, watching me open things, holding their teddy bear, and being like, what a nice, cozy Saturday morning. That's what I think about in my mind. That's why I usually put them up on Saturday.
That's perfect.
It's like watching someone's Christmas morning every week.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's fun and it's relaxing and you don't have to think about anything. You're just going to zone out and watch someone like have joy for 10 minutes
Yeah, but again, if it's done right, there's not jealousy behind it. I don't know how I'm not like jealous of the fact that you're opening something that's really beautiful or something that I may actually want, but there's no jealousy behind it. It's fascinating.
I'm happy to hear that. And I will say I haven't had hardly any comments like, how much does she spend on this? Or, I almost never get comments like that. Most people are like, oh, that was really fun to watch. I really like this thing. But I have watched in other corners of YouTube unboxings and hauls where that is like the dominant thing in the comments section is must be nice to have the money to spend on this. And for some reason that doesn't seem to creep into the Disney unboxing sphere that much. And I'm not sure if it's because it's Disney or if it's because like none of us are making any money doing this. And whereas in like beauty YouTubers, like they are making a lot of money doing that, but we're not, we're just doing it for the love of it really. So, but that doesn't seem to like that kind of weirdness doesn't seem to creep into the comments with the Disney boxes at least.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this. I don't know how it works, but do you have some favorite subscription boxes? Like, are there ones that you're like particularly into that you think that Patrick needs?
Or maybe a better word to say it is, would you recommend some to somebody who's not currently subscribing? What are some good starter subscriptions?
Sure. My two kind of faves are Magic at Your Door and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boxes.
I love those ones.
I love them too. And there's at other price points, some other good boxes. I would say that Magic at Your Door and Bibbidi Bobbidi Box are both kind of higher end boxes. But I'm kind of like a quality over quantity type of person. And those are the most customizable of all the boxes that are out there.
Okay.
So for me, especially at this point, like I have so much Disney stuff that I don't want random stuff. Like I want stuff that has been thoughtfully, curated for me.
Yep.
Because I have so much Disney stuff, So the nice thing about Bibbidi Bobbidi Boxes and Magic at Your Door is when you sign up, you fill out an extensive survey for both of them. Not only the things that you like, but stuff that you definitely don't want. And they're pretty good about honoring your request. And I think that's cool. Yeah.
And are they mostly Disney Parks products that you're getting then in those boxes?
They both do a little bit of a mix of parks products and then stuff that you might find, like a box lunch or shopdisney.com. So mostly Disney parks stuff, and then a few other little goodies that are usually pretty well curated.
That sounds like my dream job, to just like be a personal Disney shopper for somebody. I would love to do that.
Would you be one for you, one for me?
It would be 2 for me,
okay.
1 for you.
So, Becca,
yes.
We have a couple of listener questions for you.
Tell me them.
I'm going to right now. Our listener, Brooke, who you can find on Instagram at Lowen_Brooke, wants to know your favorite Disney park and your favorite Disney treat.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the parks I've been to all 4 Orlando parks. I've been to Disneyland Paris and its adjacent park, and I've been to the 2 California parks.
Okay.
It's like choosing a favorite child.
It is a little bit like that. My favorite park is Disneyland Park.
Ooh.
Yes.
My second favorite park is Animal Kingdom Park.
Okay, great.
And
Nice.
number 3 would be California Adventure.
Oh,
So
okay.
honestly, like, I don't get to Disneyland that often, but those parks are, like, I love those parks.
Yeah. Did you go to Disneyland as a child?
No, I only went for the first time during their 60th anniversary.
Okay.
And I fell in love with it. It's
Same.
a very special place.
It is.
And it's a very different vibe than Walt Disney World. And some people don't vibe well with that vibe. It feels, I hate to use the word gritty, but it's a little bit grittier than it is in Orlando. It's definitely not a bubble.
Yep.
Because you're in the park or you're in Anaheim.
That's right.
Okay. And
Yep.
some people aren't down with that.
Yeah.
And also it's such a locals park that the people in Disneyland they're so Disney savvy. They know what they're doing there.
Yes.
Like, you are not going to outplan someone that lives in California and goes to that park every weekend. But they're also not on a once in a lifetime trip living and dying on whether or not they get on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It has a much more relaxed vibe. And I just kind of feel like they're more my people than the people I see in Florida. No offense to anyone that I see in Florida, and I love you all.
I mean, the people in Florida are the world, right? I mean,
Exactly.
and Disneyland is more California centric, but yeah, you're competing with everyone in the world at Disney World. And competing isn't the right word, but you're in the park with them. And in California, it tends to be more locals who do have that kind of laid back California vibe about them.
They do, and they also take a tremendous amount of pride in
Yes.
their local park.
They do, yeah.
And the cast members there, many of them have been there for decades, and they grew up going to those parks. Not that doesn't exist in Walt Disney World, but there's less of that. There's it's a little more transient just in general. And so I really like the California park vibe. And treats.
Yes, Brooke wants to know your favorite Disney treat.
I want to preface this by saying I like sweet things.
Same. Same.
I mean, I like a lot of the things. I like a lot of Disney treats, like Rice Krispie bars and premium bars and pretzels that are shaped like Mickey, and I like all the things. But in Florida, my favorite treat is the strawberry cupcake from Be Our Guest restaurant. You can only get it at breakfast and lunch. You can't get it at the dinner, I don't think. But it's this strawberry cream cheese cupcake. It's my favorite thing in any of the parks in Florida. It's ridiculously good. It's so, so good.
Wow.
So that's a little bit of an obscure one.
Yeah.
Because you can only get it at one place. And you can't even get it there at dinner. But if you go for lunch, which is quick service, you have to make a reservation, but it's quick service, get the strawberry cupcake. It's so yummy. And I don't even really like strawberries that much, but it's so good.
I never knew that existed.
Oh, you gotta try it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's
I'm on
really,
it.
really good. Also, I just tried in Hollywood Studios right now, you can get a frozen key lime pie on a stick.
I've heard about this.
It's weird because it's blue. It has like a white chocolate coating that's blue, and it looks really freaky.
Is that because of a character or something? Did they make it blue for a character? Why is it blue?
I don't know. And it's kind of, it stains your lips a little bit, and it's kind of annoying, but the key lime pie filling is it's probably the best key lime anything I've had at Disney.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really nicely tangy. It's got the nice graham cracker crust. It's so good. That's in Hollywood Studios, and it's by where they do the Edna Mode meet and greet. It's kind of
Yes.
the Pixar. They call it Pixar Place.
Yes.
Pixar Place. There's a stand. It's the same place you get the Jack Jack cookie num nums.
The num nums.
But there's just like a tiny little sign, and it's like key lime pie on a stick. Get it? It's so good.
Interesting. All right.
And on the West Coast, Mickey-shaped raspberry macaron from Jolly Holiday Bakery.
Jolly Holiday.
Jolly Holiday is the best.
I can't wait to go. I can't wait.
You gotta go.
I know.
Oh
it's
my
happening.
gosh.
October, my friend.
I might just live in that shop, I think. I've heard so many good things about it.
You're going in October?
For the first time. Well, I went when I was 7 years old to Disneyland, but I mean, that doesn't really count because I don't remember much of it.
Right.
So I'm basically going for the first time to Disneyland this October.
You're going to love it. You might get trampled by Star Wars fans, but you're going to love it.
I know. I'm excited. It's going to be the best trip ever.
It is.
And now I know what to eat while I'm there.
Yeah, I could just only eat that raspberry macaron. Truly, like the whole time I'm there. It's so good.
I love watching your Instagram because you do like a farewell goodbye to Jolly Holiday when you're leaving. I feel like you take a lot of pictures at that shop specifically.
It's so good. And they have this incredible like grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Yes.
What?
And they have all these like beautiful specialty cakes and cookies. It is like the place to go.
Amazing.
Derek, who you can find on Instagram at Derek_sick. I think it's CICH. He asks, any suggestions on meeting or making friends that also love Disney? I need Disney trip partners.
That's a good question.
I mean, the Disney Instagram world is vast and full of people who want to meet Disney friends. So have a Disney Instagram account and just follow a bunch of people and chat them up in their comments and slide into their DMs and all that kind of stuff. I always say that I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to make friends, which is, I mean, I always wanted to have a YouTube period. But when I was watching Disney YouTubers before I started, I always kind of felt like, wow, like I think these are my people. I want to be friends with these people. And I realized that unless I was willing to put myself out there at the same level that they were putting themselves out there, it was never going to like be a friendship. It was always going to be like me in their comment section. So I would just say, like, if you really want to make a Disney community, you need to put yourself out there a little bit. I'm not saying like definitely make your own podcast or definitely make a YouTube channel, but put yourself out in the social media space a little bit and people will come because it's a really active and large community.
Yes.
And I will also say one more thing about making Disney friends. I took my first solo trip. Solo Disney trips are awesome, by the way, a few years ago. And I made one of my very best Disney friends standing in line to get into Trader Sam's. And that friend and I, he was solo. I was solo. We had some drinks. We hung out a whole bunch the rest of the trip. It sounds like this is going to a romantic place, but it's not.
Sure.
And he's been like my Disney buddy ever since. And he just got hired as an Imagineer.
Oh my gosh, incredible.
And moved to Glendale. So you never know who you might meet.
That's amazing. Wow. That's amazing.
So solo trips are cool if you feel like you're someone that could go to a restaurant and sit at the bar instead of sitting at a table by yourself. Like go sit at the bar and chat people up in line because people that are at Disney like Disney.
Yeah.
You talk to them.
Yep.
Talk to them.
Our last listener question also comes from the host of the podcast, which is me, Kyle Paulo.
He asked, what about Kyle?
Does he want to kiss me?
Oh my gosh.
What's the deal?
Adam.
What's the deal with that? What? I just want to know.
You're the worst.
He's so dreamy. Do you think I have a chance?
I mean...
It's okay to say no, Becca. Just shut it down. Shut the dream down.
It's fine. I know it's no.
Not all dreams come true.
At the end of Dumb and Dumber, it's like, well, maybe like a 1 in a million chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes,
Wow. Wow.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh,
Kyle's a nice guy, and he's a great YouTuber, and he's a really lovely human being, and he's also 25.
Yeah.
He's so young.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
And I mean that in like the lovingest way. Like he's a great guy. And I totally appreciate your question and like where you're coming from. You know, I do. I really do. And then I also know him personally and I'm like, and he's 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he kind of just started too, and he's crushing it on YouTube right now.
Yeah, he's doing great. And he's
got some great content.
He hustles really hard. And the few times I've been able to hang out with him, he's like, well, I have to leave the park by this time so I can edit this thing for tomorrow. And then I have to go to work. Like he works his butt off.
Wow.
He really does. He's a hard worker and he loves what he does. And he's a genuinely nice person and he's very busy.
And he's currently doing a daily vlog, which makes my head explode trying to think of the logistics behind that.
Mine too.
That's crazy town.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job though, but he's young, so he has the energy.
He has the energy and it's, like I don't have any babies, and so that makes me able to have my YouTube channel be my baby. And then your life changes and priorities shift and, we're all in a stage when we can hustle a certain amount, and then you get into a different decade and you have a different amount of hustle in you, and that's just how it is. Things shift and change, and he is definitely like in hustle mode.
What's funny about his YouTube channel is that I discovered that I know you and your channel because of watching his, because you were on one of his episodes.
Yes.
And I was like, is that Becca? What's going on right now? And then I looked you up and I was like, oh my gosh, she has this huge YouTube channel that I did not know about. And I started watching him, and I sent you a message on Facebook, I think.
It's
and
a small world.
Oh my God. And we talk like almost every day now, just about something silly or Disney related, of course. It's crazy. I have to piggyback onto what you were saying about meeting Disney friends. Don't be afraid to reach out. Everyone wants to talk about their passion. And if you don't reach out, you're never going to know, right?
I'm so shy about my Disney habit.
Yeah.
So shy about it. And when people ask me about it, I'm always like, you saw that? Oh, okay. But the people who secretly like Disney that find it, they are so excited to find someone to talk to about it. So you gotta let your freak flag fly. Like,
absolutely.
If you get a little bit of a green light, I just say go for it.
Yeah.
I was on a flight to Orlando a while back, and I got off the plane and I saw 2 of my yoga students had just gotten off the same plane, and they were like, Becca, are you going to Disney? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm just going to spend some time in Orlando. Turns out they're huge Disney nerds, and they've been to the China parks, and they were there to run the half marathon. And now I have local Disney friends, but they had to reach out I was there to freaking create a vlog, and I wouldn't even tell them what I was doing there because I was so shy about it. But you gotta just be who you are at some point. I'm freaking 37. You can just, I am who I am. You gotta just go for it sometime. Absolutely.
Well, we connected 20 years later because of Disney. I mean, that's a nice little fairy tale ending there for you. And my new friends, the Atlanta D's, I call them, Kale and Roger and Mark. I never would have had these friends if it weren't for Disney. So it's reach out and make some friendships, because everyone is so nice. I mean, mostly everyone, I guess, right? Yeah. You can weed out the bad ones, right away. But it's so fun to talk Disney with this enormous, beautiful community.
Yeah, and on that note, there's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of it is not positive. There's a lot of dark things going on. There's a lot of really big, hard conversations being had. And I think one of the reasons Disney is having such a moment, and that Disney social media platforms are having such a big moment, is that people really need something positive, and they need something light, and they need something wholesome to contrast all of the other really big, heavy, hard stuff that's going on right now. I get letters that say thank you for being a positive force on the internet where there's so much negativity. Mm-hmm. And I never really think about opening boxes on the internet as being a force for good, but it's been really nice to get that feedback, because I think that's what draws me to Disney right now, especially as well. I'm old enough to be able to really see how serious it gets. And I'm really glad that I have this as a creative outlet and as a way to connect with people around something that's positive.
That is so beautiful and well put. Thank you for saying that.
And I don't think there's a better way to end this interview than
that
what
was
you
perfect.
just said. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that. And thank you for sharing your time with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
And for letting us learn a little bit more about you, because we see all these people on YouTube and on Instagram, and it's just nice to finally sit down with them and have a chat and get to know them as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
Likewise.
Please come on the show again.
I would love to.
I love talking to you.
I love your basement.
Such a treat. Oh, thanks.
At first it was scary, and now it's pleasant.
Yep, now it's Disney. Yep.
Patrick.
What's up, Adam?
Becca.
Yes.
You're still here, Becca.
I'm still here.
You have graciously given us more time because we want you to play Quick D with us.
I love a Quick D.
And this week's Quick D is Quick D Thunderdome. It's been a while since we've done Thunderdome.
Bum, bum, bum.
And for those listeners that don't know, Thunderdome is when we list 2 Disney characters or movies or foods or places or resorts, and we throw them into the Thunderdome and pit them up against each other, and we have to choose which one's going to survive the Thunderdome.
Only one can leave.
That's right. And then Tina Turner sings, "We don't need another hero."
You do this every time.
It was spot on impression of Tina Turner. Becca?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So, Patrick, you're going to kick us off with the first category and the first pairing for Thunderdome. Who's going into that giant wicker cage from the movie?
I'm kicking you both in the D first. We're going to go with Disney villains.
Oh.
Category is Disney villains.
Okay.
So I'm going to put up against each other. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Maleficent and Ursula.
Okay, are you asking me who would win in a fight? Or are you asking me who would I pick?
I can't answer this for you, Becca.
I was about to,
do your
but
homework.
yeah, no. I think who you want to win. Who's your choice for Disney villain, and tell us why.
Oh, I like Malef.
Oh, well, you clearly you do, and you're very close with her because you call her Malef.
Me and Malef. Yeah.
And why Malef?
Because she's a badass fire-breathing dragon.
Yeah, she is.
Now, Ursula, she's fabulous too. She has a great song. When she's a human, she's really hot.
Interesting.
Good point.
No,
Interesting.
She is. Vanessa?
Vanessa.
Yeah.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like the hotness that comes out of the mouth of a fire-breathing dragon.
Right.
Like that's a different layer. I mean, it's definitely Malef.
Are you gonna watch the new movie that's coming out?
Probably.
Yeah.
Although we were sitting on the couch last night and the trailer came on and Tigger.
Yeah.
Aaron was like, "Oh, what's this Angelina Jolie movie?"
Uh-oh.
And I was like, "Oh, do you like Angelina?" he's like, "Everyone likes Angelina." He got very nervous for a second. He thought I was upset. I'm not upset, but I might not watch it with him.
I can tell you're fuming right now. You're angry.
I'm very jelly. Yes.
What about you, Adam? Who's going to win in your world?
I'm also going to go Maleficent.
Wow.
I'm not as close with her as Becca is, but
You use her full name.
the dragon thing, clearly. I mean, it's like I would marry Ursula, but I
Yeah.
want to bang Maleficent.
Wow.
Yes,
that
that's
doesn't.
it.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
got that. She's bad. I mean, she is bad.
Now that I'm thinking about it, they both have very similar color schemes.
They do. Actually, a lot of the Disney villains do
That
that
sort of
purple, black, green.
Yeah.
I always also think about the pet or the sidekick.
Ooh.
This is a thing that I think about because I like sidekicks and
Yeah.
animals. So Maleficent has the crow,
Diablo.
Diablo the
Diablo.
crow.
Yes.
But then Ursula has Flotsam and Jetsam.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
a whole different battle to me. I got to go with the eels.
That's true. If you're going sidekick,
I'm
the
going
eels are going to
sidekick,
win.
Though I picked the eels.
Yeah.
Yes. So there you go.
Interesting.
This got deep.
Patrick,
I like it.
who would you pick?
You know that I love Maleficent,
Yeah.
but I love Ursula so much.
She was your number one villain in
She
our
was
Fab
my
Five
number one
villains
villain.
list.
I think I got to go with Ursula.
Okay.
I know the cheese stands alone.
All right, the next category
Yes.
is Magic Kingdom lands.
Oh my gosh, this is going to turn into a bloodbath.
I don't think so. I think we're going to be really civil about this. Can we have an agreement? We're going to be civil about this.
I can't agree to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm civil.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I built my YouTube reputation on being civil.
That's why we have you here to like keep us civil today.
This is where it comes crashing down.
Yeah.
Becca just loses it.
yeah, she's going to set fire to my basement. It's going to be the end of it.
All right. So I'm going to throw into the Thunderdome Fantasyland versus Frontierland.
Oh.
Who is surviving this match?
You know, this breaks my heart to choose.
I sure do.
This
and that's
is
why I chose
basically
it.
Sophie's choice for me.
Yeah, well,
It's
I
the
mean,
same.
not
It's the same.
Okay.
It's exactly the same.
All right. Becca, why don't you please?
That's really hard.
Yeah.
My favorite Disney attraction, period, is Splash Mountain.
And a high five across the table.
Yes. But, oh gosh. I mean, Fantasyland is just really the heart of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be Magic Kingdom without Fantasyland. I gotta go with Fantasyland.
All right.
But we could move Splash Mountain into Fantasyland.
Nope, doesn't work that way.
Wow. Wow. Bending the rules?
No.
Out of bounds. Out of bounds.
Oh gosh.
Patrick?
I'm so nervous.
I'm nervous too.
You know, I like those cowboys
Yeah.
in Frontierland.
Yep. And
you
the
know-
Country Bears.
And the Country Bears.
There's cowboys?
Yeah, like all the cast members like dressed as sort
Oh,
of
yeah,
like
okay.
Frontierland
I
cowboys.
guess I haven't really noticed.
Although, honestly,
Oh, I have.
Becca, it could be any land, and he'd be like, I like those astronauts in Tomorrowland.
How very dare you? You're
But
not wrong.
truth,
You're
the
not
truth,
wrong.
yeah.
You're not wrong. But yeah, but that Splash Mountain though.
Choose.
Fantasyland.
Wow.
Fantasyland wins.
I am shocked.
You're right though. What you said, it's the heart center of Disney. right? I mean, of all of the worlds and the lands, Fantasyland in Walt Disney World is just beautiful.
It's to me so much of the history of the park is Fantasyland. It's a small world and everything.
Yeah, it does house my very favorite ride, the Mad Tea Party.
Right.
So I got to keep it.
Okay.
What? Stop.
I know. I got a lot of hate mail for this.
The teacups is your favorite ride?
I love the teacups.
I like to look at them from far away.
I know.
And be like, look at the pretty swirling colors. Let's go this way.
I cannot stop laughing when I'm on that ride. It is so fun to me, but it's also beautiful. And my favorite movie is Alice in Wonderland.
It's a great movie. Do you spin it though?
Oh, I sure do.
Oh my God.
Oh, I sure do.
I'm never riding that with you. I will go on it, but I won't spin it. I'll just be like, doop, doop, doop.
I am a gracious host on it where I'm like, if you don't want to spin, we can just ride it and I will still have fun on the ride.
Okay.
Having been on it with Patrick, the very first time Patrick and I went to Disney World together, I spun the crap out of that teacup, and I've never seen someone laugh so hard or like he just lost his mind. So I encourage anyone, if you happen to be so lucky to ride the teacups with Patrick, give it the spin of your life because he will enjoy it and you will enjoy watching him enjoy it.
It's the best. It's the best.
Wow.
What would you choose, Adam?
Frontierland.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
You totally.
I love
okay.
I love the heavy. It feels more immersive to me. Fantasyland sometimes can feel disjointed, and I feel like
careful, tread lightly.
I know. It just feels a little disjointed, but Frontierland feels more cohesive to me, and I feel more immersed in that experience. And I love Splash as well.
Love Splash.
Yeah, yeah. I just feel like I want to hook my thumbs through my pant loops and just strut.
Have you ever done the square dance there? You can strut.
I know. I haven't done it.
It's fun.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
I
a lot of fun.
do it.
Mm-hmm. You can dance with some of those cowboys
And the Country Bears.
And sometimes Brer Rabbit will make an appearance.
Brer Rabbit's out there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tough choice. Who am I choosing? Cowboys, Bears, Rabbit.
Oh my. Do we have one more category?
One more category to go.
Oh, you picked a big one.
Yes.
Disney movies.
Let me clarify something.
Okay.
I think I created some confusion.
Yeah, you did.
So it's Disney or Disney Pixar, but it's the like CGI or it's like the computer animated movies
specifically
that we're pitting against each other.
This is still going to be hard.
It's still a lot of movies.
Yowza.
Yeah, but I just wanted to include everything from Disney's computer animation catalog and then Disney Pixar as well.
So I have to pick two to throw into the Thunderdome.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm going to pick Up.
Yes.
And Tangled.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
And one's Pixar and one's not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We've stumped Becca.
You actually kind of have stumped me. They're so different.
That's the thing with these two. They are vastly different.
One's a musical, one's not.
Mm-hmm.
One makes you cry in the first 30 seconds. One makes you cry at the end.
Right.
One has Mandy Moore, one does not.
One has Flynn Rider.
Oof.
I know.
And you
Flynn
both
Rider.
love Flynn Rider. I know that
Flynn
about both of you.
I mean...
Oh, boy. This is hard. I love the music in Tangled.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tangled more than Frozen. And that's not because Frozen was over-frozened at us. I actually think it's just better.
I'm fully with you.
And I even like Frozen. I'm not hating on Frozen.
Yeah, man.
We get it.
It's good. I like Tangled more.
Mm-hmm. Because you're correct. That's why you like it more.
But then Up is First of all, Up is having a 10-year anniversary this year.
That's right.
And I feel bad if I would like diss Up in its 10-year anniversary.
Listen, you got to be blunt sometimes. Someone has to die, as we know from Up.
Gosh.
Oh, Patrick.
What?
The first 5 minutes are like some of the most, it's like the most moving thing I've ever seen in any of those movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I have to give it to Tangled. Even with Up's.
I wish our listeners could see
This is really
the turmoil happening in your face right
Here's
now.
the thing, though. Tangled has music that makes me feel joyful.
Yes.
It has a hot guy. Okay?
Yes.
Up does not have a hot guy,
Mm-mm.
and it is emotionally manipulative. It is. It is.
You're right.
It's mean what they do.
It's almost gaslighting, really, your emotions.
Yes.
I'll say it. Here, first, you heard it first on Gays Do the D. Up is rude. It's unfair.
Tangled, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's a really hard choice, but if I have to pick one, I'm gonna pick Tangled.
Okay.
Adam?
I completely agree with Becca. Tangled.
I think we are at a trifecta of Tangled at this table.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do love Up.
I also love Up.
But you know what? Caveats get you nowhere here in the show.
I don't remember Up as much. Like, I struggle to remember once they get to the island. I struggle to remember, or the jungle, or, I struggle to remember the story after that.
Yeah.
But Tangled, I can recall in an instant because of the music and because of the adventure story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Up is, the opening, like the prologue of Up is so brilliant.
Yes.
That you can't even like function after you watch that.
That's a good point.
How can you even remember that?
No time to recover.
There's a bird called Kevin that's cute.
Yeah. Have you seen Kevin in the Parks?
I have.
So cute.
When I was there, I actually saw Kevin with Kyle.
Oh.
And Kyle goes, Kevin fell yesterday.
Oh, no. Of course he pointed it out.
And she just has those little wings, so there's no way for her to get back up.
Oh, no.
It sounded like it was rough.
Oh, poor Kevin.
Well, because once I bet you start falling in that,
right,
like there's no recovery.
Right.
It's just a tree falling in the forest.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Kevin.
Oh, boy. I'm going to get a cease and desist letter from Disney. Take your channel down.
Well, we're going to get it because you just said it here on our channel.
That's true.
We're going to get it for more reasons than that, Patrick.
That's true.
We have sealed our fate.
It's true.
All right. Last round.
Oh, there's another one?
Well, I'm going to choose one to give to you two.
Oh, okay.
Or can I do that?
You can do whatever you want.
We did it. You did it before, so I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, go for it.
Anyway, my choices are Toy Story and Finding Nemo.
Oh, it's also very hard.
Not for me. Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo
Really?
wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's Toy Story.
Wow.
But I really do love Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Toy Story came out when I was so young that it took me rewatching as a more fully formed human to really appreciate it. And it was so groundbreaking. But I do recall Finding Nemo being one of the first Pixar movies that I was like, whoa, that was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love the musical, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that musical's great.
I love the musical.
It grew on me. I didn't love it at first, but when I gave it a second go, I was like, oh, yeah, this is fantastic.
The turtle song?
Yes, I
so
love the
good.
turtle song.
It's amazing.
I wish I could sing like that.
He sings really high.
Yes.
Oh my, and Crazy Town, belting out that weird note that I'm like, how are you not exploding right now?
Yeah, totally. And he's like riding a big puppet.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But I still got to say Toy Story. Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair.
So, Patrick, you're Nemo.
I'm Nemo. I
Becca,
think
you're Toy Story. Why Nemo?
I just didn't, like you said, we're at that age where it came out at a weird time in our life where it just didn't connect with Toy Story immediately. And so it took me a while to care about it. I care deeply about it now, but Nemo immediately grabbed my attention, I think.
That's fair.
Yeah. And who doesn't love his lucky Finn? He's a survivor, like Destiny's Child. Who are you choosing?
Inside Out.
What? That was not an option.
Inside Out's my choice. Inside Out is my choice.
That's my least favorite Pixar.
Oh.
Wait, is that Pixar?
Flip
That's
this
Pixar,
table.
right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm going to flip this table.
Wow, this has been a real mistake having you on the episode.
That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. Ratings and reviews are greatly appreciated and help people find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gazedothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gaze Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast, and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.